Hello, scrappy friends. I hope you guys had the very merriest of Christmases. Welcome back to my channel. We are going to wrap up December Daily in this last week of December, and I have 5 more stories to tell. So today we are documenting day 21. Again, I hope you guys had the best Christmas. I will tell you all about mine when it's time to document days 24 and 25. But today we're working on day 21, and for day 21, I'm telling the story of the winter solstice. And this is not a bad story. It's not necessarily a good story. It's right in the middle. You know what? I'm reframing it. I think it's a good story. It doesn't start off that great, but I think it's a good story. And so the reason I'm telling the story of the winter solstice is right around this time of year, I get super introspective, which is like, I say that like tongue in cheek because I'm always kind of introspective, but for something about the 21st, which the winter solstice, if you guys don't know, is the day of longest night, and something about that gets me like all sorts of in my head and in my feelings. And so I did some journaling about that, and I just realized I'm missing something. Like, I thought I had everything on my desk to get this page together, and I just realized I'm missing something. So I'm gonna go grab some copy paper and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So I needed one more thing to assemble my layout for today. And what I'm doing, nothing I'm doing today is new or crazy. I am going to make a flip that then unfolds into a bigger flip. This is a combination of techniques that I did on day 11 and day 14. So if you've seen those videos, a lot of this will look familiar, but I have a photo I took of the sunset on the 21st. So I just took it from right outside our apartment building. So it actually has the streets we live on. So don't come stalk me. Actually, do come stalk me. Come stalk me so we can be crafty friends forever and make things together. But yeah, so it's just a picture that I took from right outside our apartment building of the sunset on the 21st. And what was I saying? The 21st. Yeah, so the reason I get super introspective is because it's the day of longest night. And something about knowing that this one particular day of the year, the darkness is stronger than the light gets me every single time. And it's not like I said this in my journaling, it's not like I know that on the 20th and the 21st and the 22nd, there's not some huge battle between the sun and the moon, and the sun loses, and then the next day the sun wins again. Like, I'm fully aware that that doesn't happen. But something about knowing that it's the day of longest night, it just gets me. And again, I've been super reflective this whole month, and it's part of the reason I've been that reflective is this project. I've been super reflective this whole month, but knowing that the 21st was the day of longest night got me. And I got like really, really stuck in my head about the dark places in my life. Okay, so I gotta stop talking for a moment to make sure this does what it's supposed to. How did I do this on the other day? Oh, I think I stuck it down like this. That's how I did it. I was like, okay, yeah, so I'm doing, again, pretty much the same thing I did on the 14th. I have this, and then this is gonna flip out, and then this is gonna flip out, and I had to make sure that things go the way they're supposed to, so it looks the way it's supposed to at the end. But now I can go back to talking to you. Yes, I got really stuck in my head, and Joshua and I went for brunch on the 21st, which is going to be my day 22 story, because I like telling one story a day, and it doesn't matter to me that things happen on the same day. I'm telling one story. I'm doing this wrong. No, it goes like this. Okay, I'm doing it right. I tell one story a day, whether it happens on that day or the day after. So the day 22 will be my brunch story, and I already have that. Like, I already have that day storyboarded and the pictures picked out and everything. But it was really important to me to get this 21st story. So I went back and forth on whether the 21st should be about the solstice or it should be about brunch, which is I'm out of tape. Or it should be about brunch, because brunch is what happened on that day. And I decided to go with the story of the solstice because, one, I almost always tell the story of the winter solstice in my past albums. Like, when I'm trying to decide, I did this wrong. I checked it 3 times, and I did it I checked it 3 times and I still managed to do it wrong. I don't know if I like it. Oh, you guys, I just wasted so much paper. I just wasted so much paper if I don't keep it this way. Because I'm gonna have to reprint this whole photo, print this over, print this over. I don't know if this paper is gonna come off without ripping. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is coming off without ripping, so I won't have to reprint the photo, but I'm going to have to reprint everything else. Or, I don't know, let's see. I don't even understand how I don't even understand how I did this. I am clearly out of December daily practice. It has been a few days since I worked on my album because I was out living my best life. Like I got my nails done and I got lash extensions and I was literally out living my best life for the last few days, and now I'm trying to work on my album and I forgot how to do it. Okay, so this has to go here. Let me just double check this again. This has to go here. Yeah, that's what I did wrong. All right, I'm gonna see how this looks if I assemble it again. I'm gonna see how this looks if I assemble it again, and if not, I'll print it again and I'll be right back. Okay, friends, so I'm back. So I managed to save the photo paper, which is hideous, but I couldn't like take this apart and not like I ruined this, so I had to reprint the journaling and the tag, which I hate because that is wasting paper, and I hate wasting paper, and I hate wasting ink. But I just, the good thing about scrap lifting yourself is I had the original to go back to, so I actually ended up having to open my binder up to day 11 to see how this, like how I had to assemble this so this worked the same way. So I figured it out. So what I did wrong, the first thing I did wrong was try to attach my photo and my journaling to my photo and the tag to the journaling without having it assembled, because that's the important part. Like I had to put it together the way I want it to open to figure out where each element goes where. So I'm fixing it. So yes, everything does not always work out the first time around. Sometimes you have to adjust, and that's just, it is what it is. But I fixed it and we are moving on. And now this is a little too wide and I'm going to have to take off a tiny bit, which is probably going to make my journaling a little bit harder to read on the end, but that is the only way this is going to work the way it's supposed to. Okay, so I'm a little flustered, a little turned around. Okay, so that's how that's going to look, which again, if you saw my day 11 story, I am literally doing not the same exact thing, but something very similar to that. Okay, so now I'm just going to tape this on here, and then we'll go back to what I don't even know what I was saying anymore. Oh yeah, brunch. So Joshua and I went out for brunch on the 21st, because it was the 21st was a Saturday. And it was the first real bit of free time I've had since school has been over. So we decided we were going to take advantage of that, and we went to brunch and we had a great time. And you'll hear all about brunch when I document day 22, but we had a great time at brunch, but then he had to go to work. And then I was home alone, and I managed to stave off some of the stuff that comes with. How is this not the same? How is this not the same height? It is literally the same picture that I cut in a square. How is this not the same height? Okay, I'm not sure how that happened because I literally just cut that picture in half, and I don't know how it's not the same height unless I just didn't glue it down straight, and that's why it doesn't look like it's the same height. Oh, that's why it is. I didn't glue it down straight, and that's why it doesn't look like it's the same height. So anyway, so Joshua went to work, and I was home alone, and all that stuff that I didn't want to think about that comes with the 21st just came and found me. And so I was home alone, and it was not, it is what it is, but like I said, because the 21st is the day of longest night, I feel like it highlights all the dark places in my life, and it might not do that for everybody. Like I know that for some people, celebrating the winter solstice is like a very big thing, but for me, it is the exact opposite. And I was home, and I know I've mentioned this here before, but we lost my father-in-law this March after a very, very brief and very gnarly battle with brain cancer. David was diagnosed in July and he was gone by March. So it was very quick, and you know, I was in school when it happened, and I feel like I didn't have a lot of time to deal with the fact that that happened. And so all those emotions and those things that I did not have the time to deal with before, I felt like it was all starting to find me. And I was stuck in my own head, which happens. And I went on, I was looking for a distraction. So I went on Instagram, just looking for something to do. Like, I didn't want to watch TV. I didn't want to watch a movie. I put on music that didn't work. And I went on Instagram. And here's the thing. Here's what drives me wild about life, and if you believe in God, about God, or if you believe in something else. But I 100% believe that there is something out there watching out for us. I saw this post that Brandy Kincaid shared. Guys, I'm just working on assembling my layout. I'm not doing anything crazy that you haven't seen before. This is just a piece of acetate that I punched holes in, and I'm going to use this. I was trying to line it up with a page protector, but that's too much work today. So I'm just going to use this as a way to be able to put my layout in the book so it can turn the page. That is all I'm doing. So yeah, so this is how I know. This is how I know, whether you believe in God or you believe in some other higher power, this is how I know that he's out there and he's watching out for me. I saw this post by Brandy, on this shortest day and longest night. If you're weary or grieving, worried or waiting, I'll hold the light for you. I saw that in the morning and I was just like, oh, Brandy Kincaid is so sweet, which is true. Brandy Kincaid is a wonderful human. And if you don't follow her on Instagram, well, first off, you should, because she's amazing. She is a memory keeper. But Brandy's also like an artist, and I like to say Brandy's a poet. I don't know if she'll agree with me, but I think Brandy's a poet, and she's really good about getting these words that just get me in the feels every single time. Like, she says things to me that, and I'm personalizing it. She says it to the world, but she says things to me that I needed someone to say to me, or things that I was saying to myself, but she manages to articulate it in ways that I've just never, like, it's wild. So anyway, she had posted that. And I saw it in the morning while I was waiting for Joshua to get ready so we could go to brunch. And normally once you see something on Instagram, it is very rare. Just making sure that that's straight. It's not. I can't put anything down straight today. Anyways, normally when you see something on Instagram, it's very rare for you to see it again. And I saw the post in the morning. I liked it. I actually reshared it in the morning, which is crazy. Like, I reshared it like it wasn't for me and it was for everybody else. Like, oh, you guys need this thing that Brandy wrote. And so I reshared it in the morning. And then when I was home alone and like stuck in that dark place, I went on Instagram and it was waiting for me again, which is, again, crazy to me because that never happens. Like, it never happens that once I see something and I like it, it pops back up on my feed. Like, normally once I see something and I like it, like, that's it. The Instagram algorithm has realized that I've seen it, I've liked it, whatever I'm going to do with it, and they don't show it to me again. And it came up again, and it was just what I needed. And it came up as I was listening to Christmas carols, and I realized that like a lot of the messages in my favorite Christmas carols have prepared me for dealing with these not so light days. And so I instantly pulled up my phone and I just started like typing, like I was furiously typing, and I ended up with all my journaling this month has been like a page, but I ended up with a page about the day of longest night and how it has been reframed for me. And then I lit a candle and I stayed up until the next day. Like, I stayed up until it was dawn the next day. I stayed up waiting for the sun, just thinking about all the good things in my life instead of the bad. And it was such a good experience for me. Like, I think that's going to be a new tradition, is doing something similar every year on the solstice. But it was such a good thing for me, and I'm so glad I did it. So that's what my journaling is about. So I pretty much assembled, as I was talking, I've assembled the base of my layout. So I have this from Brandy. It was a square on Instagram. I tried to resize it. I tried to duplicate the coloring. It has that bit of a harsh line right there. So I'm literally just going to put a chipboard star to cover the harsh line. And then I'm going to put my number on it. And then it folds out. I have my full picture of the sunset. It does have a little bit of a seam here, which I don't mind, but I had to put the seam so this would open. And then I have my journaling, which is about the day of longest night. Now it overhangs here, but if I cut that anymore, then it's gonna be like clearly open here. And then This was a journal card from Allie from the Light Story kit. All I did was, I'm going to trim this off. All I did was it was a 4x6 card, and I created an 8x8 canvas in Photoshop. Go down. Why don't you go down? Okay. You are going to be obnoxious, aren't you? I'm going to have to trim that by hand. It was a 4x6 card, and I just created an 8x8 canvas in Photoshop and enlarged it, so I scaled it up. And then I took the same 4x6 card and I created a 2x8 piece to duplicate this pattern, and also because I wanted a square photo. Like, this photo was not going to work blown up to 10x8, so it's a square photo, and then I used that here to anchor it, so that way when it's closed, all you see is the yellow and the yellow and the blue, and then you open it, you see the photo, and then you have this repeating theme here. And then on the back, this was a picture of the candle that I lit, and this was from 2017's Allie's Digitals. It's a layer template, and it was just a 6x8 layer template. You literally just put the photo behind it, and you have this cool, the awesome spirit of the season sentiment. And I might add another chipboard star. Maybe I'll add a few chipboard stars. Yep, I'm gonna add a few chipboard stars. I think I'm gonna take this big one, and I'm gonna cut it. Oh, you guys, I have new scissors because one of my friends, first of all, someone had commented about my scissors, like me needing new scissors, and I had responded saying, yeah, because I never remember to buy scissors when, like, I go shopping. Like, I go on Amazon, like, every day, and I go to Michael's, like, every day, and I never remember to buy new scissors. And one of my friends, who is a darling, darling person, sent me a new pair of scissors. And you guys, the way this community has poured love on me since I've started sharing my December Daily album has just been, it's just been wild. Like, I don't even know if I have words for how good and how kind and how grateful I am for this. So yeah, so now I have new scissors, and you don't have to watch me struggle to cut things anymore with my terrible old scissors that I actually got from Dollar Tree and just kept forgetting to replace. That's literally what it is. I just kept forgetting to replace it. So now I have these like fancy new snips. I will not have to struggle to cut things. That cut the chipboard like super fast. That is really nice. So I cut that big chipboard in on an angle, and I'm just using the stars. And then I'm going to take this small one, and I'm going to have to cut it as well because I cut the other ones, even though I don't really need to. But since I cut the other ones, I have to cut that one. And I'm going to put another one. Just because I like repeating things in threes. Like, I like odd repetition. Okay, that looks really good. I'm really happy with that. So I have my 3 chipboard stars. And then I'm just going to put another star here. And I'll have to put my number on this somehow. So I'm just using it kind of to mask like that really harsh line that from where the PNG ended, the screenshot ended, and I had to like repeat something. So I'm just putting it to kind of mask that harsh line, which it does that really well. Like, it works out really nicely. And also here's the star, and then I have the 3 stars here to, you know, I have that thing about repeating elements and tying things together. So I'm just going to, now I could do something fun and put my number here. Actually, I think I might do that. Like, I think that might be fun, a fun change. I'm going to go and find, do I have a white 21? I have to figure out a better way to store my numbers. I saw a few people do some really cool things where they use like a divided page protector to sort their numbers so that like all the 1s are together, all the 2s are together. And I think I might have to do something similar. Just because I've been doing this project for a while now, and I have numbers from like every year that I've bought kits from Allie, and this is like my 4th or 5th year, I can't remember. So I have to figure out a way to store my numbers, which I'm going to do when the project is over. Now, do I like that 21 there? Oh, there's not enough tape. I'm gonna put a little bit more tape. Oh, Minerva's trying to get in my lap, you guys. Come on, Mama. Come here. Okay, never mind. She's changed her mind. She has decided that whenever I'm sitting, she has to be in my lap. My husband's actually working right now, so she's extra needy right now. Minnie, you coming? Come here. Come on, Mama. Okay, never mind. She's not coming. She's just standing there and staring at me. Okay, so I have my 21 right here. I don't know if I want to, I think I'm going to put it in the book first and then decide where I'm putting my number. But besides that, like, the layout is pretty much done. I'm not going to embellish this because if I do, I need something flat. I'm going to put it in the album before I make any, like, final decisions. So that's what I'm going to do. So here is volume 2, which I've been working in. Minerva, you either have to come up here or not. Go away. Here's volume 2, which I've been working in for a while. Oh, also, if this is your first time here, hello and welcome. Merry Christmas to you. I have process videos for every day in this album. There's lots and lots of stories that I've been telling, and there are videos for every single one. Okay, so here's how this is gonna look. Oh, I have to do something back here to finish up that. I was like looking for Christmas phrases that are like 11 letters, and I think the closest I've come up to was Merry Bright, and it's supposed to be Merry and Bright, which is 12 letters, but well, 11 letters and a symbol, but I think I'm just gonna go with Merry Bright because that's the closest I'm gonna get to something that is 11 characters. It's gonna fit on the back of these tags, and this is from my Day 20 story. So do I like that number? So I don't think I like the number here. I think I'm just going to go with what I normally go with, which are the gold stickers. So I just have to find those. Okay, friends, so I'm back. So I had to go off and think a little bit. So what I did was what I said I was going to do, which is I spelled out Merry Bright on the back side of these tags, and I really like how this looks. Like, this makes me so happy. And then what I did for my number was, since I had this star and this star, I had these wood veneer stars from my friend Jessica. This is her shop Color Cast Designs. These are wonderful. They're super thin. So I ended up repeating the 3 cut star element on the inside. So I took one of these outlines and just cut off the top. And then I took one of the more filled wonky stars and cut off the side. And then I put one here with my number. And then that's how I'm going to signify that this is day 21. And these are flat enough that they don't take up like a lot of bulk. So it still will lay flat. And then on the back, I have that repeating star element. So that is pretty much it for day 21. It is, it's a good story. Like, I think I'm happy that the story is included. I'm happy that I'm documenting the solstice because I always do. But beyond that, this is a good story to tell about a community and about finding the light and being your own light. So the other thing I have to say before I read you my journaling, I'm taking care of my fancy new scissors. I like to include other people's voices when I write. So again, this whole journaling was pretty much like, if I hadn't seen this, I don't know if I would have told this story. But Elizabeth Ashman had commented on one of my layouts in the Facebook group, and she had wrote something about being the dawn for other people. And that was like that phrase had been like working its way through me for days, and it came up in my writing again. So much of what you guys say to me and what you guys write and leave me ends up in my own writing. And if that isn't proof that I appreciate you guys, like that is proof. That's the best proof that I could come up with. So it says, "Dear longest night, something about you gets me every single time. I know that the difference between day and night does not change dramatically from the 20th to the 21st to the 22nd. But knowing that you are a day ruled by darkness, a day where the light does not win, makes me count each hour until the sun reaches a zenith and feel so acutely the remaining time it has left in the sky. I know that there are traditions and celebrations tied to you, the singing and the feasting and the lighting of candles, but all I can think of is the darkness in my life and the cold spaces that the light doesn't seem to touch and the hard times that have found my family and I. Maybe I feel it even more acutely this year than most. Maybe it's because 2019 is an adventure I do not care to repeat. Maybe it's because on this day my restless heart beats a tattoo of names of those who are gone and unreachable. David, David, David. Maybe it's because when the night is this strong, it is hard to imagine that there is a dawn, a light on the other side. Maybe it's because it still doesn't feel like Christmas. No gifts under the tree, stockings empty, no sorrel, no cake. Just me trying to grasp the spirit of the season and hold on tight. And maybe it is because I have space and room and time for the first time in months to deal with all the things I have held back and compartmentalized and locked up tightly to finish school with my head and my heart mostly intact. Sometimes the universe has a funny way of reminding us and finding us and giving us just what we need when we need it. I put on a Spotify station and listened for an hour before I realized my favorite Christmas carols warned me about you. They prepared me for this day where the sun has lost the battle with the moon, sending me tidings of comfort and joy, reminding me that even though we might have to muddle through the bad days, there is space to let my heart be light, and offering a thrill of hope for this weary world, this weary heart, and a new and glorious morn. Then I went on Instagram looking for a distraction and some sort of connection, and there was Brandy Kincaid offering to leave a light on for all of us, for me, to be a candle flickering in the darkness, to walk me home. And those little cues, those little love notes reminded me that I am greater than the sum of my hurt and my loss, that there is always space for light, that there is always room for joy. So I lit my own candles, just a few from Bath & Body Works, but it'll have to do, and turned up the carols until my heart beat a different rhythm, and I wrapped myself in an old blanket, comfort and joy in physical form, and I sat up to await the returning sun. New traditions to fill the space between old hurts and to make sense of the night, and old ones that feel like weight of blankets on my bed. So for now, I will say farewell, new friend. Thank you for reminding me of grace and this cautiously optimistic hope my heart cannot seem to get enough of, and for teaching me to light my own candle in the darkness, and for highlighting the lights that show up in my own life, ready to lead me towards a beautiful dawn. Till next year. So that's my journaling about the winter solstice and how a day that started off super dark, how the lights in my life managed to find me and show me that there is light on the other side. And then here is just a picture of one of the candles that I was burning on my table with the tree in the background with the awesome spirit of the season PNG. So that's it for day 21, you guys. Thank you so much for coming back. I am so happy I have this story in my album. And next I'm going to work on documenting brunch. I actually think I might sit down and film day 22 right now because I'm on a roll. The cats are leaving me alone for now. Minerva just tried to jump in my lap again. So I might have to cuddle her for a little bit and then I'll go back and film day 22. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for coming back. Again, I hope you guys had the happiest Christmas. I hope Santa gave you just what you needed and that you had time with family and friends. Until next time, till day 22, keep it crafty, friends, and have the best day.